Welcome to Draft Day Suits NFL Roundtable for Week 6 of the NFL season. This is our third roundtable. I'm getting really confused with all the numbers, so I'm going to stick with NFL Week 6. Joining me today, we have Kendra. Say hi, Kendra.
Hi, gang.
And Blaine.
Hello, hello.
And they are out on the West Coast and got up early for this, so thanks, guys. Just a quick recap of last week. We had an unusually high level of agreement, and yet two of us still went 2-2. That would be me and Kendra. Woo! But that means Mike and Sarah went 4-0. So despite Sarah's warning that you should pay no attention to what she said if you're betting real money, pay attention to Sarah if you're betting real money.
But she's not here this week, so we can't bet real money on her picks.
She isn't, and that's just wrong. But hopefully she'll be back next week when I won't be here because I've got a date with a mouse in Florida. So for our 4 games this week, we are not going to step on Rust Belt football's toes at all. We're going to stay away from the AFC North entirely.
Good.
And pick it up.
I mean, what?
You don't like the AFC North, Blaine? What you got against the AFC North?
We can talk about that later.
All righty. So we're going to start off, and we're avoiding all the early games this week, too. Apparently, we're all planning to, go out for brunch, have a few bloodies, and then settle in for our football viewing. So we're going to look at 2 late games, 1 late game, and the Monday game. So starting off with the Patriots and the Seahawks. Blaine, what do you think, Patriots and Seahawks?
Oh, my God. If you would have told me at this point in the season that both of these teams would have the same record, I would have said that you were high. That said, both teams' units, apparently, that will be on the field at the same time match up well against each other. I wouldn't have thought that either at the beginning of the season. But Tom Brady will actually be playing for the first time at CenturyLink Field. The last time he came up to Seattle, he was on injured reserve, and I think the Seahawks still lost that game because it's the Patriots. I really want to pick my guys, but it's Bill Belichick and Tom Brady and whoever he's throwing the ball to, and I just can't. Pats win this one.
All righty. That's painful yet decisive. Kendra, where are you going with this one?
I'll have to agree with everything Blaine said. These two teams really closely matched, but I hate them both, to be quite honest. Seahawks only because you have Pete Carroll. Sorry, but I'm going with the Patriots as well.
Well, I'm gonna dissent because the Patriots are sort of like the Yankees to me. I will root for whoever is playing against them, good, bad, otherwise. I think we saw last night that anything can happen in the NFL. So, Seahawks, please.
We'll take what we can get.
We will take, well, okay, the green marker gets retired now. But that keeps us honest for next week. Okay, moving on. This one I think might be a little easier. Giants at the 49ers. Kendra, start us off, please.
I think this one is kind of tough, too. You can't ever count Eli out. But, again, like I said last week, 49ers at home, and I feel like they really have something to prove with this game. They're hungry for this particular win after last season, and I think that they're going to pull it out. So I'm taking Niners.
Okay. Blaine, are you in the same camp with Kendra?
Yeah, yes, but for different reasons. Ever since the 49ers lost to the surprising Vikings, they have been completely blowing out. They blew out their next 2 opponents 79-3. Ouch.
Yep.
Where has this Alex Smith been? For like 9 years? Man. Anyway, if the Giants' secondary is injury-ridden, the pass rush is just not there for the Giants anymore this year. I'm picking the Niners.
I'm going to agree with you. The Niners, to me, they're the real deal. and I won't be at all surprised to see them in the Super Bowl this year. Especially Alex Smith on the injury report has reported not even a piece of tape on his boo-boo finger as of yesterday. So
show us that injury, Alex.
Yes, show us your finger. So I think Niners all the way. Just don't text it to anyone, Alex, please. Okay. So the Sunday night game, Packers at Texans, and we promised Grace, who couldn't be with us, a little shout out to her beloved Texans. Go Texans. Blaine, what are your thoughts on this one?
This one actually is harder for me to pick. The Green Bay Packers are surprising me with their 2-3 record right now, and you can put an asterisk there if you want. I don't mind. But the Houston Texans are, wow, they are just playing all out in all phases of the game. And I just can't help but think that, especially on defense, Wade Phillips, that coach over there, is just like, how you like me now? How you like me now? I don't see the Green Bay Packers coming out. I mean, they'll come out fighting, but they couldn't even hold off the Colts last week. I'm going with Texans.
Okay. Kendra, you agree?
I agree. I just kind of see Green Bay falling apart. Unfortunately, they're a good team, but there's just something not clicking this year. And on the other hand, everything is clicking for the Texans. Their defense is doing well. Their offense is putting points on the board. They're getting it done. So I'm going with the Texans.
All righty. I was really on the fence. I took a look at the injury report and saw that Greg Jennings and Michael Finley are both game day decisions. Arian Foster got a rest, but he's fine. So that kind of tipped it for me with I'm going to go with the Texans as well. So last game, Monday night, Broncos at the Chargers, two teams that really didn't want to lose last week, and yet. Kendra, what do you? And show us the PJs. No.
Hat.
Shirt.
Yay! All right.
I love the internet.
Gosh, this one is so hard for me. It was hard for me last week to pick the Broncos against the Patriots, obviously. Didn't do so well in that one. And this one's really hard, too. Obviously, Bronco fan. But Manning has lost the last, he's 1-5 in the last 6 against the Chargers before the injury. And then he's only won 4 of 9 against the Chargers. Granted, different team, different time. He wasn't recovering from injuries then, and they've got his number. But then you look at the difference between the offense and the defense, and Broncos have the number 8 offense right now. So it's hard. I'm torn. And so I got to go with my heart on this one. I want the Broncos to win. I'm hoping for one of those 2-minute drills that Peyton knows how to do. I think this is going to be the week that we see it because we really haven't seen it yet. And unfortunately, I think the Chargers are going to be playing tough. They're at home. It's Monday night. It's going to make it that much more difficult for the Broncos because the Chargers are going to want to win this one at home. So I think it's going to be close. I think it's going to be good. And I think we're going to have like a 1-point game here. Hopefully my Broncos can pull it out.
Okay. Blaine.
I hope that game that you just described actually happens because that would be a really, really, really good game to watch. Despite the fact that I'm out here on the West Coast too, I have not been paying an awful lot of attention to the AFC West, which as a whole seems to be surprisingly weak this year. I understand that at all. But if I'm going to be making a pick on this game, I have to go with Peyton Manning, who can make his receivers look like all-stars every time they play. Yes, injury. Yes, they're surprisingly 2-3 right now, and Chargers are 3-2, and they'll be playing at home, something to prove. But I think that Manning gets it done. I pick the Broncos too.
Okay. Thank you both. I'm gonna actually go with the Chargers. Sorry. Despite having Peyton and Jacob Tamme on my fantasy team, which frankly stinks this year. There's just no other way to put it. And Phillip Rivers was good to me one year in fantasy football, so once maybe. Yeah, something Kendra said a couple of weeks ago, that Peyton can't do it alone, and he can make receivers look good, but he still can't do it alone. And I don't think he gets it done this week either. So I'm going to go with the Chargers. So there you have it. There is our Week 6 NFL Roundtable. Any closing thoughts?
Interesting stat for the NFC West, which apparently I'm repping now. Undefeated at home so far this season. Don't think it holds up after this week, but how do you like us now? How do you like us now?
I'm going to close out with the Hockley tracker. They told me my Steelers were going to be in the Bumblebee suits last night, and they weren't. And they didn't exactly put the sting on the Titans, so Ed was the best-looking thing on the field. Thank you, Ed. You made my night, as well as you Orioles. Thank you very much. And that's it for the NFL Roundtable. Thank you, West Coasters, for getting up early to join me.
See you next week.
Bye, y'all.
With the guns.